Hi, Sean.
We need more, right?
Good, how's school?
Hello, long time.
Hey, doing good?
Great. Made it.
Little baby Dave. That's the doctor. Awesome. Congratulations.
You made it. This is fantastic. 15 years.
Amazing. It's the best time you were in this place. Well, other than this game. Other than this I saw cheat sheets.
We have them for tomorrow, but I think we're
I'll promise I'll cheer for you. Like I'll clap, I'll cheer. I can do that I like the high haircut there. My guys, takes like 15 minutes to brush it. That's really good. So too long for you. By the way, so is it a culture shock for you almost as far as being I agree. I said to myself, you know what?
She's still here.
That's what
Oh, I see.
Jacob wants to sit next to Dave. Yeah, let's put it here. And I can keep sliding over if you guys need to extend here, or let's rather extend behind. We'll slide over if they need Why? I don't know why I did that to hear you. No one else is coming? Please don't come. You're my date because Daddy is up there. It's up there, Joe. Again. What does it actually
Tanner, do we have two-way sound? Do we have two-way sound? Meaning? Got it. We'll do the best we can.
Joel.
Are we ready, Canner? Hey, Canner. Are we? You don't need this, do we? The remote.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Cheryl Brown, and on behalf of the Board of Directors of Congregation Beth Chaim, it is an honor to welcome you to our Rosh Shabbat service this evening as we Zoom from the synagogue. For those who wear hearing aids with a T-coil program, you can access our hearing loop using this program. We have headphones for those who do not have compatible hearing aids, and we have large print prayer books as well. The headsets and large print prayer books are located on the side tables under the sanctuary monitors. We want to maintain a warm and welcoming feeling for these services and create a sacred space that will inspire prayer. For those on Zoom, please help us by staying muted unless the clergy invites you to unmute and participate. And while we will not always be able to hear one another, we would love for everyone on Zoom to sing with us. Please know that prayer books are available to borrow if you'd like to follow along at home. And if you have any trouble with the technology, our Director of Lifelong Education, Ann Berman Waldorf, will be happy to assist you. For those praying in person, we ask you to turn off your cell phones and be present with us. Also, please keep your mask on, covering your nose and mouth the entire time you are in our building. Although we are physically separated and masked, we are all one community in prayer and celebration. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our clergy and staff, we wish you a joyful Shabbat.
If you'd like to follow along in your prayer book, we're on page 78. But the words are up on the screen.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Away, my soul. Away, my soul. Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Away, my soul. Away, my soul. Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi.
Welcome to everyone who's with us tonight in person, and it is a full house in our sanctuary tonight, by Zoom and by YouTube. for our Rock Shabbat service, kicking off 50 years of Congregation Beth Hayim. To frame our synagogue celebration this evening, I invite Camille Bloomberg, one of the co-chairs of the 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, to share a few words with us, to get us in the spirit, to let you know who is doing a lot of work behind the scenes. We also want to thank Ronnie Staffenberg, our other coach. Oh, both of them are coming on up.
Welcome to Shabbat Shalom. As Rabbi said, I'm Camille Bloomberg. Ronnie Staffenberg. We are so happy. Right, we are so happy to be planning and celebrating 50 years of Beth Hayim. Our goal is so that we have 50 more years of our community, our sacred Jewish community, in the future. So we have a lot planned, and our theme is past, present, and future. We have two co-chairs for the past, which are Barbara Gilward and Linda Feldstein. We have present, which is Lisa Jasper and Robin Valentine. And we have future, which is Jeff Goldberg. We have events planned for each of those. Goldis, sorry. And we have, we have events planned for each of those areas. And we want to be clear that we have two goals: fundraising and fundraising. In order to keep Beth Hayim here for another 50 years, we do have to obviously raise funds, but we really want to have fun. There will be something for everyone in the year to come. So look forward to working with everyone, and look at our bulletin on our website, flyers as we plan activities and events and celebrations. Please join us. And anybody who wants to help plan anything, you're welcome.
I just was going to say that it was an honor to be asked to co-chair this year-plus long celebration. We hope to plan events that everyone can participate in. And I wanted to give a todah rabbah to the people who have stepped up and have offered to serve on the committees, but there is room for more people. So if you would like to work with any of us, just let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you both. And to welcome in Shabbat, we need to create some light, which is perfect for this week's Torah portion, which we'll learn more about tomorrow morning. But I'm going to call up our Bat Mitzvah this Shabbat, Lily Mizrahi and her family, to help us welcome in this Shabbat. Come on in.
We do. It's a strong.
It's also going to include Saba Shimshon and Grandma Patricia Mizrahi, as well as Grandma Gail and Grandpa Jerry. So come on up, everybody, grandparents, and the four Mizrahi. First is going to be Saba and Graham.
Oh, source of light and first creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by the Spirit. Lead us to take the words and justice into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
For anyone following along in their prayer books, we continue with the Candlelight Blessing on page 2 as David lights the candles and his big sister leads us in the blessing. And they have been known to be trick matches.
All right, Mazel.
Amen. We continue on page 5 and ask everyone who's able to please rise for Kiddush, the sanctification of this holy day.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei v'yarachem. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Evitar mitzvotav v'ratza b'anu, v'shalach kodsho v'alav u'rasam zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, Ibuyot tefillah v'mikrayet kodesh, Sefer tzniat Mitzrayim, Imanu acharta, v'otam v'kidasha mikol ha'amim, v'shamat kosher, Baruch ratzon imotanu, Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh hashamat.
You're welcome to be seated as we'll now hear from Grandma and Grandpa. Yes.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. In prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, and my capacity to love.
As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other. To work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us and to bring that vision to life.
Thank you all. Mazel tov. We're going to continue this celebration throughout tonight and again tomorrow morning, right back here at 10:30. I would love everyone to wish them a hearty Mazel tov. Excited to celebrate tomorrow as we continue on page 20 in our prayer book. For a little more rocking. Page 20.
La 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 Chadoti, la 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 Likakala, la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Likakala, la 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 Chadoti, la 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 Likakala, la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Likakala. Shamor v'zachor v'nivor Adonai echad u'shamor v'echad v'shemo tiferet עטרת בנה, גם בשמחה ובשורה, עובדיה פונה, עם ציונה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Invite you to turn to your neighbors, greet them Shabbat Shalom, chat box, go for it, and we'll take a seat. Shabbat And we're going to continue with words from the very beginning, not of our Torah, but of Beth Chaim's history, with one of our past presidents, Barry Cutler, who's on Zoom. And Barry, you're going to have to use your outdoor voice.
Am I on?
Yes, we just need you to project.
Good evening. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Barry Cutler, and I've been invited to say a few words about our beginning as a congregation. In the spring and summer of 1971, a small group of young Jewish families met to explore forming a Reformed Jewish congregation in the East Windsor area. We quickly found there was considerable interest in having a place to worship, to celebrate Judaism in our holidays, to pass these lessons on to our children in a religious school setting, and to socialize with like-minded Jewish families. However, there were questions about what Reform or liberal or progressive Judaism was. As our first group came from varying backgrounds, there was some understandable confusion. At the second formative meeting, it was agreed we should schedule a Reformed Shabbat service. One of the founding members had a brother who was a student at the Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati. He suggested having him conduct a service for us, which is what we did on July 30th, 1971 at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in East Windsor. I'd like to tell you one of my fondest memories of starting Beth Chaim. The timing was very special for Joan and me. August 1st was to be our first anniversary as homeowners, and we were about to celebrate this mitzvah by being part of a group to share in another mitzvah, the possible birth of a new Jewish congregation. Wow. She and I were two of the four congregants who volunteered to make the arrangements for this service. I'll skip many of the hurdles we had to overcome, and there were many, in the days and weeks leading to this special service, except for one I got to tell you about. On the morning of the service, we had a torrential downpour, which flooded the road in front of the church. Miraculously, the water receded in the afternoon, a biblical act we thought at the time, and the Shabbat service went on as scheduled. It was a phenomenal success. People just kept coming to overflow the small church sanctuary, maybe 150 or more packed in and even stood to hear our dynamic young student rabbi lead us in an energetic, spiritual, and beautiful service. The enthusiasm on this special Shabbat was incredible. This was some beginning for what grew over the next 50 years into what we all now know as Congregation Beth Chaim. Many challenges confronted us, but our can-do spirit and actions clearly gave us a special kinship with what the pioneers in Israel must have confronted only 23 years before our own pioneering efforts here. At least that's what it felt like at the time to us. This beginning set the tone for confronting many challenges to come for this fledgling group. With this spirit and this beginning, so many persevered to make Beth Chaim a special place in our community. We have succeeded over the years by working together and making Beth Chaim a real house of life for all. Now, I must indulge you for the finish to my fondest memory story. In addition to all the events of that special day, the culmination for Joan and me actually occurred at the end of that first service, when we hurriedly left the church and drove to Princeton Hospital, where our own sweet Caroline was born shortly after midnight on Saturday, July 31st. In the succeeding months, several more babies joined us, who are now also celebrating their 50th birthdays. Our 25 or so original members grew to about 60 through the winter of 1971. As we move ahead to our next 50 years, I think there is something special too about the same sort of growth that our energetic, dynamic new leader, Rabbi Adina Blum, has brought to Beth Chaim with the birth of her two beautiful sons over the past couple of years. I think that this too is a sign of leadership in continuing to bring even more life to our house, the one we call Beth Chaim. So here's to us and the next 50 years. L'chaim, Beth Chaim.
L'chaim, Barry, thank you so very much. And anyone in the room who's been a member of Beth Chaim for 36 years or more, if you could please rise first. We want to acknowledge you. We have some founding members in the room tonight, but thank you all. The rest of the congregation, please rise for who are called to worship. If you're following along with your prayer book, we're on page 28.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Sharing reflections from our presence, I invited Melissa and Jonathan McCarowitz to share a few words.
Beth Hayim has been home for Jonathan and me and our daughters Kayla and Madeline since 2006. When Kayla was a toddler, I was looking for activities to do with her and came across an advertisement for the Toddler or Me program at Beth Hayim. We attended class every Friday, which was the best day. Hell, it was the snack that day. Toddler or Me continued until Kayla was old enough for camp at Beth Hayim.
Kayla was very clingy and not used to being away from us. I remember the trepidation of leaving her at camp each day, where she would scream as we would leave her. But the staff here was so wonderful, with her and with us. I remember one of them taking me aside and assuring me that as soon as we left, she would stop crying. When she started preschool here in the fall of 2008, the crying stopped, as she was so comfortable here. That feeling of comfort at Beth Hayim has never left her or us for that matter. As the years passed, Madeline followed her sister through preschool, and both girls attended Bagels and Blocks and religious school. Beth Hayim became part of our family's life. Growing up, I felt a strong cultural connection to Judaism through my family, but for various reasons, I never felt a strong connection with my temple community. That changed here. I immediately felt connected with Rabbi Wisnia and loved his outlook on life and Judaism's role in our lives. I fully subscribe to all three principles of Wisnitzonian logic. Prayers don't change things, prayers change people, and people change things. Or we don't take the Bible literally, we take it seriously. And to be Jewish, you do Jewish. And then our connection to Beth Hayim only strengthened when Rabbi Blum joined Rabbi Wisnia. She looks out for our family and always makes us feel welcome and cared for. She makes us feel that Beth Hayim is our home. She continues all of the great things that Rabbi Wisnia brought to this community and constantly looks for ways to make it even better, and she succeeds.
Kayla and Madeline have become b'nai mitzvah here. Kayla was part of the most recent confirmation class, and Madeline will follow suit next year. Both kids volunteer as Torah during religious school and have done so since they were in 7th grade. We attribute their strong connection to Beth Hayim as the only possible explanation as to why two teenagers would voluntarily wake up that early every Sunday morning. We are so lucky to be part of such a great Jewish community and are so thankful for the kindness that everyone at Beth Hayim shows us and all its members.
Thank you both. I'm going to ask anyone who's been a member of Beth Hayim for 15 to 35 years to please stand. Very nice. Wonderful. There you go. There you go. All right. Thank you all. We're going to continue seated in our service on page 40 with our prayer of redemption and of hope. Definitely sentiments reflected in the words we just heard.
Then I pray, take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes my tears are drowned, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around me. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say, I'll be home, there'll be no more war. The children will play one day, one day, one day. Shabbat, vayidam bashvesh hamru b'nei
Envisioning our future, I invite another member of this past year's confirmation class up to share a few words. Lucy Simon, you are one of the members of our community for future.
Hi, let me get out my folded speech, which is also in bullet points. Am I also, my glasses? Hi, I am Lucy Simon. I'm in 11th grade. I was part of last year's confirmation class, and I grew up interfaith in Beth Chaim, and then my mom converted when I was in 8th grade, but I still get Christmas presents from my grandparents. And I want to talk a bit about how Beth Chaim shaped me first before I go into, these aren't working, how I'm going to continue leading with my Jewish life. And first, I've been here since bagels and blocks, and I actually did kindergarten twice because I made the cutoff here, but not in West Windsor, so I did kindergarten twice here. And I distinctly remember being in the front rows here in like 1st grade and looking up the balcony and thinking I'm going to be there one day. And then sitting last year in the parking lot of Beth Chaim after my confirmation thinking, oh my gosh, sorry. And I mean, my bat mitzvah was actually done by Rabbi Wisnia, and I was paired with this girl named Lucy Zadie. So Lucy and Lucy's bat mitzvah. So in his speech, he said, Lucy's bat mitzvah, like plural Lucy's, yeah. And as I said, I went through confirmation, much to my grandmother's delight, and I think my dad's too. My grandmother is a Jewish woman from Philadelphia, so she was very happy to know that I went through confirmation. But confirmation, I think, is really when I started to connect with my Jewish faith and what it means to be a Jew in the 21st century, and especially a Reformed Jew that goes to a Catholic school. And then in confirmation, the conversations and the in-depth questions and being talked to as someone who has a say and has insight, it really changed me into who I am today as someone who, I'm doing a research project right now on religion, basically, and religious studies, because I've always loved the conversations. I love philosophy, and the conversations held here, even when you're a younger teenager or a young adult, they've helped me know that I have a voice, and that being Jewish, I have a voice and I have a duty, in my opinion, to uphold and live through being Jewish and continuing this faith so it lasts for many more centuries, as it has since. Okay. Oh, and another just random memory is, well, the song that we just sang, Hashkivenu, what brought back some pretty big memories from Hebrew school here. And same with the confirmation song for my class with Rainbox, which they have since changed to be Rainbow, but it was a typo, which they said Rainbox, which lasted for many years in the student body here. And so when I was thinking about how this helped me and how I will continue to shape and continue my Jewish life and my Jewish education, this took me a second. I had to think about this. My confirmation speech was about taking a break, the Sabbath, as we are all here today, taking a break with our communities. And it's also helped me take a break from my junior high school life, and going forward, the college schedule that I know will be busy because I can't say no to people. And it's really the act of questioning and discussing the Torah that has been fostered, because questioning is such an integral part of Jewish faith, and it's always questioning, like we see this in the Talmud. It's all about questioning and discussions, and it's that are needed to keep Judaism alive and to keep it alive through my generation. We have to keep doing these discussions, and here they fostered the discussions, and they made sure that we had the discussions and we had the tools to have these discussions going forward. And then also, I really learned the value of a community, and not only of a community in the sense of, oh, my school community, oh, the community of the friends I go out with on the weekends. It's the community of the people of shared Jewish faith and the shared traditions and beliefs. Because I know if I talk to the other Jewish kids in my grade, or some of the closest friendships I made here, which I'm still incredibly close with two of my favorite people, we have these shared traditions of like Passover meal. Like we all have this like, I don't know, you have 4 cups of wine. You like know it's like everyone's drinking 4 cups of wine unless you're a minor, then you may have 1 cup. And then with the COVID-19, I remember sitting, I think I was like right back there for the Rosh Hashanah service and feeling this like sense of, oh, I want to continue to be with a community of Jewish people for the rest of my life. I want to have this community that I can be with, that have these shared experiences of like the Passover service or like the big families, like when we go to, we're quite a small family, but when we go to other people's big families, when we do the really big families, I have Orthodox family members up in Rhode Island, and I went to their B'nai Mitzvahs, and they were big, and I have that experience that I know I share with many other members of this community. And tzedakah is a big part of the Jewish faith in the Jewish community, and I think I remember I would always forget to bring coins and change for the tzedakah in the morning, so I'd always like borrow from my friend, but not quite as proud of that looking back, but I should have had change in my, I should have just kept the thing of change, but I think the way we foster in Beth Chaim charity and questioning and just deep discussions of community will always continue to just impact my life in the best ways going forward. Oh, and then one other thing I've learned in my 17 years of life, I know, I'm so old, wherever you go, there will always be someone Jewish. Thank you.
Lucy, I know our future is in good hands with you and your peers, several of whom are in this room at the helm. We're really grateful for all of you. If you've been a member of Beth Chaim for fewer than 15 years, I ask you to please rise. Fewer than 15 years, please rise. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. Joshie, that's you too. All right, and we're going to ask everybody else to rise with you for the Amidah, our standing prayer. Where we get to offer our own prayers to God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elokei Avotenu Vimotenu Elokei Abraham Elokei Yitzchak Elokei Yaakov Elokei Sarah Elokei Rivka Elokei Rachel Elokei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, זוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה, מלך חוזר ומשיח ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור גדול אדוני, מחיה כל התורה ומשיח, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים וחסד, וחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורומם חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, אישי יחד, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומדום אלך, מלך מבין ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמנת חיות אפו ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי אפו אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יעלו חסדה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. One of the goals of this taking a break that Lucy talked about is so that we can express gratitude for all the blessings in our lives. This Shabbat, we are celebrating all of the birthdays and anniversaries in the month of October. If that's you, if you wouldn't mind rising at your seat. We have up on the screen a number of people who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. All right, so we'll start with the birthdays. All right, it looks like birthday or anniversary, Neil? Happy birthday. Helen, is it your birthday this month? Birthday, okay, fantastic. Other birthdays? Judith, is it your birthday? Fantastic. Oh, very nice. Bill, birthday. Oh, Josh, it's your birthday? Happy almost birthday. It looks like we have a few anniversaries as well. Mazel tov, do you want to share how many years? Three. I can't hear you.
27.
27. All right. And 14. Oh, and Lucy, is it your birthday this month?
Yeah, it's the 24th.
Happy and healthy. Mazel tov to you all. We're so grateful to be celebrating with you. And can we go back to the anniversary screen really quickly? Just pause on that. Oh, there's a lot of names. Lots of mazel. All right, Cantor. I know we have a lot to be grateful for this Shabbat. Because we have a jam-packed service, we're going to continue with Shalom Rav, our prayer that we very much wish we could be grateful for world peace. We're not quite there yet, but as long as we keep praying and acting, we might get there soon.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Hasim Le'olam Shalom Rav Yisrael Hasim Le'olam כי אתה הוא מלך הדון לכל השלום כי אתה הוא מלך הדון לכל השלום שלום רב לישראל עמך שים לעולם שלום רב לישראל עמך שים לעולם ותוקף יברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה ישתומך שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל אשרתו שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם תשים לעולם תשים לעולם
Take a few moments for silent prayer to offer up our own hopes and dreams. Take a few moments to meditate or follow along with the words of prayer. Our thoughts now turn to all those in need of healing. Healing of the body, healing of the mind, healing of the heart, and healing of the soul. If you are keeping someone in your thoughts and prayers this Shabbat, I invite you to say those names out loud or to type them in the chat box.
Peter Wright, Brenda Zillinger, Aaron Burchett, Terry Mullins, Tara Langstein,
Joshua Sachs.
George Moore,
For all those and many more, we invoke the names of our ancestors. Quote the prophet Moses with these words of prayer.
Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray.
Tonight we're celebrating the life cycle of our congregation, but also of the Jewish people. We are celebrating one of Beth Chaim's B'nai Mitzvah, and we are celebrating someone who formally joined the Jewish people just this morning. So it is now my pleasure to invite Sarah Schneid up to the bima as we share her Hebrew name with all of you tonight. The Midrash teaches, you're good. Ooh, dear to God is the Gioret, who has come of her own accord than all the crowds of Israelites who stood before Mount Sinai. For had the Israelites not witnessed the thunder, lightning, quaking mountains, and sounding trumpets, they would not have accepted the Torah. But the Gioret, one who saw not one of those things, came and offered herself to the Holy One, and took the yoke of heaven upon herself. Can anyone be dear to God than this person? At this sacred and joyous moment, we renew the covenant at Sinai between God and the people of Israel, recalling the words of the prophet Isaiah. Sojourners shall join them, and shall become one with the house of Israel. God, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the truth you have revealed to all humanity. Above all, we thank you for the gift of Torah, which has ever been a light for our path. We recall with reverence and gratitude all those descendants of Abraham and Sarah who have been faithful to you, and those who, of their own choice, have sought to serve you through the faith and people of Israel. In this holy place, we welcome you into Jewish life. Knowing well our difficult history, you have chosen to identify yourself with our people's faith. We open our hearts to you. May you be strengthened in your resolve. May we help you to live faithfully with the decision you have made and to the promise you are about to utter. May you always find satisfaction and joy in fulfillment of sacred deeds, and may you be granted many years of strength and happiness as a worthy member of our congregation. We praise God, in whose presence is the fullness of joy, and together we say, Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu Abraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, hu yivarech et Achotenu, Sarah Amalia, bevo'a lehistapeach benachalat Yisrael. Ulehimanot al derei hatzedek betoch Am Elohei Abraham v'Sarah, yehi ratzono sheyatzliach b'darka, v'tireh b'chol ma'aseh yadeha, v'nomar Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, Rachel, and Leah, bless Sarah Amalia, who has cast her lot with the people Israel. She is a Ger Tzedek among the people of the God of Abraham and Sarah. May she prosper in all her worthy endeavors. May the work of her hands be blessed. Together we say, Amen. So if you'll come up a few steps. Sarah, do you choose to enter the eternal covenant between God and the people Israel and to become a Jew of your own free will?
Yeah.
Do you commit yourself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge?
Yeah.
Do you promise to establish a Jewish home and to participate actively in the life of the synagogue and the Jewish community?
Yeah.
If you should be blessed with children, do you promise to raise them as Jews? Do you commit to building a meaningful relationship with the state of Israel and its people?
Yeah.
Do you accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religious faiths and practices?
Yeah.
Do you pledge your loyalty to Judaism and to the Jewish people under all circumstances? Yeah. I'll ask everyone to please rise as Sarah will help me open the ark. Sarah, you stand before the commanding presence of the Torah, the Jewish people's most cherished treasure. It has led us on the way and guided us ever since we received it. It has been carried when we fled from destruction and during the times of our greatest rejoicing. I'm about to place the Torah in your arms. Take it to your heart as you now recite the Shema, the words on the lips of the Jew until the final moments of life. It is the affirmation that has sustained the Jewish people since our beginnings.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear Israel Adonai is our God. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Adonai is one.
We rejoice as we welcome Sarah Amalia into our midst, who so willingly and devotedly joins our community. And now as one community, we celebrate this remarkable occasion. Dan, you're on. By joining together in the Shem piano guy. Yeah. Praising God for allowing us to reach this joyous moment. He got caught up in the moment.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Mazel tov. And as if that weren't enough, we also have an offer tonight. Traditionally a blessing recited before one gets married, but when COVID and logistics get in the way, such is life. It is now my pleasure to invite into the Bima Allison Reich and Jeffrey Eller for a blessing upon their recent wedding. 7 weeks ago, Allison Reich, she grew up here at Congregation Beth Hayim, married Jeffrey Eller in the presence of family, friends, and God. It is now our pleasure this Shabbat to celebrate their recent union as a sacred community, honoring this couple's commitment to each other and to the Jewish people. Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Hu yivarech et hatan ve'et hakala. May God, who blessed the men and women of Israel in every generation, bless this bride and groom. May God guide them on life's journey. May their marriage be a joy and a good example to all who know them. May they fashion a Jewish home worthy of praise, a secure refuge where they find tranquility during all their days together. May the love of this couple inspire and bless their family, their friends, and the community of Israel. And together we say, Amen. Allison and Jeffrey, you married shortly before the new Jewish year, a time filled with excitement and anticipation. We now celebrate your marriage in the beginning of this new Jewish year, and at the beginning of what we hope will be a long life together, filled with hope and happiness. May you hold each other up in times of challenge, and may you delight in many moments of joy. Thank you for inviting your Beth Hayim family to celebrate with your family in this significant milestone, some of whom are zooming in tonight. It is now my honor to share with you this ancient blessing on behalf of our congregation and all who care for and love you. Yiratechem Adonai v'yishmorchem. May God bless you and protect you. Ye'er Adonai panav alechem v'chunechem. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav alechem yasem lachem shalom. May you feel God's presence with you always, and together may you find peace. Kemi hiratzon. May this be God's will. Now we get to sing with the Siemens of and a Mazel Tov, please.
Siemens of Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemens of Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemens of Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemens of
And now we continue with Aleinu, our prayer that reminds us that yes, we can make this world a better place when we come together as a community, when we share in moments of joy, and so we continue with these words.
Aleinu leshabeach l'adon hakol, ha'tekilu la'yotzer b'reishit, shehu noten shamayim v'yoseh ha'aretz, u'moshav ikarov ha'shamayim imah. ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו ואינו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך והמלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We turn to our prayer, Kadisha, Tom, the mourner's Kaddish, as we remember two who were taken from us this week. Ari Greenbaum, father of Zia Herman, and Bertie Jacobs, uncle of Mark Bloom. We remember these loved ones whose family members are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. Mark Haven, cousin of Mark Perkis, Lynn Levine, mother of Dinah Tomford, Harriet Rosenberg, aunt of Susan McClure, Richard Britz, cousin of Karen Brodsky, Margaret Leah Linton, mother of David Linton, and Deborah Deutsch-Webb, aunt of David Linton. And remember the following yard sites, the anniversary of the passings of these loved ones that fell in this past week. Elias Sanjuli, Nina Eisenberg, Annis Lessinger-Burstein, Martin Goldstein, Charles Friedman, Jack Goldstein, Mo Green, Ben Schuster, Morton Meyer, Sylvia Polowski, Charles Orbach, Benjamin Zimmerman, Blanche Pogrub, David Richter, Bertha Robbins, Annette Hassendorf, John Rothman, Helen Burak, Celia Friedman, Florence Pearl, David Kaiserman, Virginia Marion Lashaw, Sylvia Goodman, Sydney Gordon, Ruth Hansman, Milt Brookbaum, Holly Feinberg, Israel Dvorsky, Milton Bruck, Susan Glickler, Sophie Eisenberg, Celia Sachs, and in loving memory on this special occasion, Gerald Schneid, grandfather of Sarah Schneid. In their memory, in memory of all those whom we lost, we recite these words together. Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei Rabbav, Yalmad yikra v'yutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayet v'yomekon, v'chayet v'olei Yisrael, v'chalav v'zman karim v'yimro amen. Yehei shemei Rabbav v'barach, le'alav v'olei v'mayam. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yikabar v'yiramah v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalav shemei v'yisham b'richu. Le'elah v'kol mirchata v'shirata, v'yushachata v'nechemata, ta'amiram v'yomah v'yimru amen. Yehei shmama rabba v'yishmona, v'chayim alim v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramah, Yaseh shalom, alim v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memory always be a blessing. Please be seated.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Brown. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Congregation Beth Chaim, thank you for joining us this evening for our special Rock Shabbat service, kicking off our 50th celebration. Also wishing a very happy birthday and happy anniversary to those who are celebrating in October. Tomorrow morning, our weekly Shabbat Torah study is at 8:45 a.m., held outside, weather permitting. At 10:30 a.m., Lily Mizrachi will be called to the Torah as one of Beth Chaim's B'nai Mitzvah. Mizrachi. My apologies. At 10:30 a.m., Lily Mizrachi will be called to the Torah as one of Beth Chaim's B'nai Mitzvah. Please join us in wishing the Mizrachi family a hearty mazel. Got it. There will be no religious school this Sunday to give our students the opportunity to join Rabbi Blum as she leads the Beth Chaim team in the JFCS Wheels for Meals Bike Ride for Hunger beginning at 8 a.m. On Tuesday evening, the choir will rehearse at 7:30 p.m. Our community-wide Intro to Judaism class also begins this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., both in person and on Zoom. The membership committee will meet at 8 p.m. on Zoom. Zoom school begins this Wednesday. Our 4th through 6th graders will meet at 4:30 p.m. and our 7th through 10th graders will meet at 6:30 p.m. On Thursday, the Israel Affairs Task Force will meet at 7 p.m. Please join us each Friday at 7:30 p.m. for Shabbat services. Visit our website, bethchaim.org, for details about upcoming events. Thank you, as always, for being a valued member of our community, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Cheryl. Just for the record, I'm leading the 3-mile ride on Sunday. I haven't ridden in quite some time, so I'm with the kids, but that's okay. Sean Blunt can be in the longer ride. I want to thank our Shabbat band, Dr. Dan Bird on the ivory, Dr. Dave Lars on the bass. We're missing our beloved drummer, Dr. Cliff Hockford, who's in such hot, demands that he had another gig tonight, but hopefully he'll join us the next first Friday in November, and Dr. Cantor Stewart Binder on the guitar. We're closing out once more with light, because we want to end this beautiful, full, joyful Shabbat with so much light. Thank you all for bringing it to our sanctuary and to our virtual Zoom room tonight. We'll finish out with one more blessing. Let's all stand up, and if you feel comfortable putting your arm around the person next to you, if not, that's okay. We're doing it COVID style. I just know some people brought friends tonight. If not, you can do virtual. May God bless us and protect us. May God's light shine upon us, and may God be gracious to us. May we always feel that God's presence is near, and may we be blessed with the greatest gift of all, the gift of peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.